All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We have new Stars goaltender Braden Holtby. If you have a question, please use the raise your hand function, and we will get started with Matt DeFranks. Matt?
Hi, Braden. Congratulations. What kind of led you to Dallas, and what did they tell you about your role in the team?
Thanks. Yeah, obviously it's been a crazy couple of days, but I think there's multiple offshore reasons what led us to Dallas. I mean, first of all, it's a great team. You know, 2 years removed from a cup final, and still the same core and good mix of youth and veteran leadership and experience. So obviously, great city. I know playing there in the past, it's always rocking and always put on a good show, and always fun to play there. So it's I can't wait to get it started.
Next, we'll go to Stephen Wino. Stephen?
Hey, Braden, congrats on the deal. I just, with all the goalies moving around, I mean, I know this is new for you with the buyout, but how much uncertainty did you have just not knowing where your destination would be? Because there were just so many guys available and so many teams that needed goaltenders.
To be honest, it was such a quick day yesterday that didn't really have much time to think. And then moving forward to today, it's it's not a lot of time to really worry about that stuff. We're still kind of dealing with the stuff in van before, so I think had a pretty good grasp of the situation, what could be, and luckily Dallas popped up, and it didn't take us long to decide about the situation here.
Our next question is from Saad Youssef. Saad?
Hey, Braden, congratulations. When you look at your last couple of years and then where you were before that, how do you kind of see yourself with where you are at this stage in your career, and how you can possibly get back to where you were a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been last few years have been a little bit strange, and obviously not the results I'd hoped for, but last year especially, it was a weird year. Obviously, there wasn't a ton of practice time or anything, but I think made a bunch of strides in my game, and I think moving forward into more of a regular season, really excited about the changes that I've been able to make and work on. And the game now is about adapting. When you get a little older and a little more experience, you got to adapt with the game. And I think last year I learned a lot about that, and really excited to put those tools to use.
Next, we'll go to Mike Heika. Mike?
Hey, Braden. We're not really sure how all this is going to shake out with 4 goalies, but are you looking forward to that competition? And do you have any relationship with Ben Bishop or Hudobin or Ottinger?
A little bit. I know Ben a little bit from passing, and Anton was actually in the junior team I played for when I was real young, so kind of knowing him a bit through there. But aside from that, not a ton. But I think it's I think the goal in mind here is just to find a way to put the goaltending behind this real strong team, and any way I can accomplish that or be a part of that is exciting.
Next, we'll go back to Saad Youssef. Saad?
Hey, Braden, in Dallas, obviously the last few years, goaltending has just kind of been the backbone of the team. Is that kind of pressure, responsibility, whatever you want to call it, appealing to you, that the team relies so strongly on that?
I think so. I think watching how the team has played the last few years, I truly believe it's the right way to play in order to win and have success. And obviously, goaltending is a big part of that. But in order to do that, you need the strength in front of the goaltending department, and then you can do your job. And I think obviously Ben and Anton in the past have done a phenomenal job. So I think I just want to pitch in and do my part.
Our next question is from Bruce Levine. Bruce?
Hi, Braden. Obviously, there are a few teams around the NHL that need a starting goaltender or need a number two guy. What was your motivation for coming to Dallas where you know there's going to be a battle for ice time?
No, like I said before, I think my number one thing that I've wanted in the past is an opportunity to win, and I think I want to make sure that I can pitch in as much as I possibly can to doing that. But I think the structure and the way the team plays in Dallas and the roster and the character, I think has all the pieces in order to win. And my goal is just to do as much as possible to help that become a reality.
Next, we'll go back to Mike Heika. Mike?
How important is the group of defensemen in front of you? And how do you like adding Suter to Klingberg, Heiskanen, and Lindell in the top four right now?
Yeah, it's incredible. I think you look at championship teams and they're all the back end is all solid, 1 through 6, and team in Dallas is arguably one of the best defenses in the league, or if not the best, and especially adding Suter, that's a huge piece. That's experience and in that role, and when I was in Washington, a guy like Brooks Orpik, kind of that same thing as Ryan Suter. Those guys are invaluable, and that's real exciting. Real exciting to have a piece like that in order to push towards a championship.
Next, we'll go to Saad Youssef. Saad?
Braden, what has this free agency process been like for you in terms of just talking to teams, and what have your priorities been, whether it's financially, winning situation, things like that, when you were deciding?
Yeah, kind of like I said before, it was fast. I know last year it was kind of a waiting and waiting forever, and it was that, and this year's kind of just a whirlwind of a couple of days. So my one goal was find the right situation to have success, to have a chance at winning. But in doing that too, you want to go to a place where it's exciting to play, and I think Dallas has always put on a good show. Every time you go there, the fans are rocking and having a fun time, and especially after the last couple of years, as you really realize how important that is, and I think to get back to that, it's gonna be really fun.
Next, we'll go to Matt DeFranks. Matt?
Have the past couple of years been kind of weird for you, having spent all that time in Washington, going to Vancouver for 1 year, and then signing a 1-year deal in Dallas?
Yeah, it's obviously different, spending so much time in one place, and then doing the complete opposite. Obviously, it's brings upon its own challenges, but it's also it's fun. It's exciting to have new challenges, new experiences. Be embedded in a new group of guys, a new team, an exciting new city. I mean, what's not to love about Dallas? It's always been, I think, around the league, one of the top places to play, and I think that's exciting.
And our last question for Braden is from Saad Youssef. Saad?
Braden, you talked about what you were looking for, but what did Dallas sell you on in their free agency pitch to you?
I think the opportunity to push to be a big part of a winning team. I think it's this team is in a spot where the experience and mental strength of a goaltender and those kind of things can really be valuable, and I think it plays to my strengths, and I think that is what Jim kind of saw as well. I think both of us, both sides, see there's an opportunity to pitch in into creating a winning team.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Braden. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're now joined by new Stars forward, Luke Glendening. Again, if you have a question, please use the raise your hand function and I will call on you. First question is from Mike Heika. Mike?
Hey, Luke. I'll get right into the face-off stuff. The Stars have Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn, Radek Fox, Joe Pavelski. They've got some guys who've been good at it. How are those guys when you compete against them? And then how important are face-offs to winning hockey?
They have some great face-off guys, so I'm just coming in to help any way I can. But it's just a way to start with the puck, and that's what you're hoping for, obviously. But they've got some great guys, and I'll just help in any way I can.
Our next question is from Saad Youssef. Saad?
Hey, Luke, congratulations. When you come from a situation like Detroit, obviously they've been in a rebuild here, and then you come to Dallas in more of a championship window. Is there a mindset switch, or how do you kind of view that?
To be honest, I'm really excited for the opportunity. When I first got to Detroit, we were still battling, to stay in the playoff hunt. And then, the last couple years have been hard, but, I'm really excited, and, I have a chip on my shoulder, and I think these guys too. And that's why part of the reason I thought it was a great fit.
Our next question is from Ansar Khan. Ansar?
Yeah, hi, Luke. Congratulations. Just how difficult a decision was this, just leaving only NHL home and that you ever known, and having played basically your entire hockey career in Michigan, and what will you miss most about Detroit and the Red Wings?
Honestly, a great question. And, I think you can speak to anyone that I've spoken to, but it was probably one of the toughest decisions of my life, leaving what I've known, leaving what's comfortable to me. But you never know if you don't try. And, I'm really excited for the opportunity to be in Dallas. Obviously going to miss the people, miss the fans of Detroit. I've created some unbelievable friendships here. I grew up in Grand Rapids, so to have, my friends and family be so close was great. But really excited for this opportunity in Dallas, and it's just something I couldn't pass up on.
Next, we'll go back to Mike Heika. Mike?
With Jim Nill, the GM here, do you see similarities between the Detroit and Dallas organizations?
For sure. I had Jim. He was the GM when I was in Grand Rapids. And so there was some familiarity there. But, I think they're both building towards the same thing. Dallas is a little further along than Detroit, but, that connection that I had with him in Grand Rapids made this an easy decision.
Our next question is from Saad Youssef. Saad?
Hey, Luke, what was Jim's pitch to you? Where does he envision you, and where do you envision yourself factoring into the lineup here?
Just a fourth line center role. They've got great pieces, and if I can be a small piece of this puzzle, that's what I want to do. And he had just spoken about, just bring your work ethic and the things that you do well. I'm not, you guys probably know I'm not a prolific goal scorer or anything like that, but I'm going to bring a work and compete ethic every day, and we'll see what happens.
Next, we'll go to Owen Newkirk. Owen?
Hi, Luke. You mentioned the obvious connection to Jim Nill, but playing in the same division as the Stars last year and getting to see them as many times as you did, do you feel like you have a better feel for the type of players that are on the Dallas Stars roster than you did before last year?
For sure. I think we played them 8 times. And, obviously with the COVID stuff that they had going on, they had a pretty condensed schedule, but, I love that they play with pace. They play a heavy game. And I thought that, if I could slide in and fit in with that, that would be amazing.
Next, we'll go back to Mike Heika. Mike?
Dallas has been a team in previous years that has been top 5 in goals against average. Is that important as a defensive player? And then do you look at the goaltenders and then adding Ryan Suter today as a, step that this is a team that can really, chase one of those top 5 spots in goals against average?
I'm honestly excited for the opportunity. They've already had a great team, and then they've made some more additions today. So if I can be any part of that, I'm super excited for it.
And our last question is from Owen Newkirk. Owen?
Yeah, Luke, you joked about not being much of a goal scorer, but you scored 3 times against Dallas last year. So maybe you saved your best auditions for the games against the Stars.
Maybe. Hopefully I can get a few more in that building. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but just going to bring the best I got and hopefully help out.
All right. Thanks so much, Luke. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.